I believe that writing is the number one thing that connects the dots between somebody seeing your pictures and handing you their money so that they get to be in those pictures. I've been blogging consistently for my business now for the past few years, and I wanted to share some mistakes that either I've done in the beginning or even recently, and just things that I've noticed on other people's blogs as well. So let's dive in. Mistake number one is to blog only about sessions that you've done. Blogging about past sessions is a great way to get your keywords in for Google, but your blog is this piece of real estate with so much more potential than that. You could be talking about what makes your art or service different from everybody else's. You could be dismantling hesitations or concerns that a potential client has. And you could be inspiring them in a way that really connects with them far further, far deeper than just seeing posts with some other clients' pretty pictures. The second mistake is putting far too much pressure on getting your content perfect instead of writing more and publishing consistently. The 80/20 rule states that 80% of results or effects come from just 20% of the efforts. If we could all just focus on that important 20% and cut out the rest from our tasks, we'd save a bunch of time, or we could just expect a higher return on the time we invest in something. So, for blogging, the 80/20 rule could mean that you could have spent 5 hours really crafting a blog post to perfection, but if you had spent just 1 hour, you'd still get 80% of the effects that the perfect blog post would have gotten. But you could have spent those other 4 hours either writing 4 more blog posts or doing something else that brings you more clients. There are places where you should spend a great amount of time tweaking things to as good as they can get. For example, your homepage or your about page, because it's important to get your point across effectively on areas like those. But blog posts are a freer space for you, and you don't need to worry about getting them super perfect. The more you write, the more you publish your writing, the better it is for your SEO, for your writing practice, and just for consistency. Mistake number three, not leveraging the power that comes from combining your writing with photos that really amplify your point. So I see a lot of photographers combining their words, whether it is on social media or in blog posts, with kind of just haphazardly picked photos. But your blog posts and social media are a space where you get to combine your writing with that imagery so you can really get them to amplify each other. For example, if you're talking about how documentary family photography allows to capture those small, invisible, but still kind of mighty moments between family members, then add a picture that really demonstrates how you did that with your photo. The fourth mistake is obsessing about numbers. So once you get into a blogging group, it can be really easy and demoralizing to simply keep your eyes on the numbers, like how many views, how many clicks, how many likes, comments did I get. And it's easy to feel like the more you write, the more readers, comments, and likes you should be getting every single time. But I've stopped obsessing over my numbers because I know that a good chunk of the people that are reading are not going to be my clients. They might be other photographers, they might live across the planet. So instead, I see it as a way to download my thoughts and distill them into something cohesive. And that'll always be accessible to me later when I'm tweaking my website copy or when I'm posting on social media and need ideas. And it'll also help when I'm talking to potential clients and I can direct them to articles that um, answer concerns or questions that they have. So it's about enjoying the process instead of focusing so much on the results. We don't really know what all the results are going to be that we get from our writing. They go way beyond page views and Facebook likes. So, mistake number 5 is being so afraid of hitting the publish button that you don't create consistent content or you just don't put yourself out there at all. Nobody is going around judging somebody else for how badly they had written a blog post. If you believe in the message that you are about to share, it's far more meaningful as an imperfect piece out there than it is as a perfectly written little thing inside your head. I'm not saying that you should put crazy pressure on yourself. If you have a lot going on and you miss a day or you miss a week of blogging, that's okay. Just try to stick to a general plan of when you write and when you publish so that it'll help you stay consistent when you can. Mistake number 6 is that you copy somebody else's style or voice. Before you establish a good writing habit and feel confident in your point of view, it is really easy to accidentally mimic somebody else's style or voice. So avoid consuming content from people who you tend to want to mimic. You can take inspiration from outside of the photography industry. So think about who or what do you like to listen to read, or watch. Then infuse those topics that they wake up in you, infuse them with your own opinions and ideas. One great tip to sound like yourself is to think about how you would say these same things in an email to a friend, or you can read your piece out loud, and if you find yourself sounding awkward or too formal, you'll know that there's something in there that you need to fix. Mistake number 7 is to always starting from scratch. I'm a big believer in repurposing, recycling things that you've already created before, so I have a couple tips around this. The first one is to update an informational blog post every year. Just tweak it tweak the words a little, put in some new pictures, especially if things have changed in your business. This is a great thing to do. My second tip is to grab a key point that you've made in another blog post and flesh that point out into a full blog post. My third tip for repurposing is to use parts of your blog post as social media captions. So, the 8th mistake, and the biggest one, I think, is to give up on blogging. There is a crazy amount of information out there. And if you're anything like me, you have a tendency to want to consume more and more information, hoping that there's that one piece of information that'll finally change everything for your business. And you might apply whatever you've learned for a short period of time, but then you give up and move on to the next thing. The truth is, the one thing that you really need, and the one thing that's already in you, is to just focus on 1 to 2, maybe 3 key strategies and be consistent with them. I made the mistake of hopping from course to course, from resource to resource, but the one thing that I've done consistently for my business since the beginning is blogging, and that's why most of my inquiries come through Google searches. So before you click on to the next shiny video out there, I want to invite you to take an honest look at your blogging efforts and just give it a real go. You're watching this video for a reason, and I believe it is that you already know that writing is really important for your business. I hope that this video was really helpful for you. If it was, I would love for you to comment yes below. And if you have any questions about blogging or writing for your business, I'm here for it. So just comment below.